What is going on, people? Good afternoon to everybody out there, and welcome back to the Footy Fantasy Podcast. Comes to you live every Sunday afternoon, evening, where some of our friends are, and maybe morning where some other people are. Before I go ahead and introduce our guests, find us on YouTube at Footy Fantasy. We're on Twitter at Footy AD Fantasy. And on Instagram, we are Fantasy Footy. If you do like the content, give it a like, share the content, and subscribe to the channel. And hit the notification bell. That way you're notified whenever we plan to go live, like we usually do every Sunday, or whenever new videos are posted on the YouTube channel, such as match reactions, analysis, and stuff like that. So, on the panel today, we have our resident Liverpool fan, the man who is happy because his team did not play yet. And I can see Ola's teeth is shining differently today.
Honestly, it's a privilege not playing till Monday because we cannot catch our L until Monday after the podcast.
Exactly. I feel you. But thank you for coming on. Next we have Madam EJ. She's still sitting on that tree with the elephant. She's up there with that elephant. Now that elephant is looking like, I don't know, but she's out there smiling, and she's apparently from what she's looking like today, I don't think she's worried. But hey, big up to you, EJ. How are you?
I'm good. I'm cool too. I'm not worried.
You're cool. Okay. Yeah. If I were you, I wouldn't be.
It reminds me of that meme of fire in the background, and the guy is just sitting there, like, yes. Yeah, I'm fine. And then the house is on fire.
Yeah.
That is funny. And we also have Dio here with us. Let me actually remove him. Oh, there he is. We also have Dio here with us. Dio, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Good to see your beautiful faces.
See, for a second, we thought Sadio Mane punched you as well for a second. So I was like,
yeah, you punched Sunny on the upper lip, so mine is on the lower lip.
Goodness.
But guys, it's always good to have you, and always good seeing you and hearing from you. All right.
Thanks,
so
guys.
let us start. We're gonna try to keep this to 1 hour. And we're gonna dive right in. We're gonna give me 1 second, guys. We are going to start talking about the Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest game. I mean, usually the host is supposed to be, neutral and facilitating conversations. But since I'm the only United fan here, I will have to talk about this. But before, I want to hear from a neutral. Ola, your team did not play today. I mean, has not played this weekend so far.
Mm-hmm.
What did you watch the United game?
I watched the first half.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched the first half. I saw and I read the reports that your Gasabinos got injured before the warm-up, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
I think you guys are suffering for being in so many competitions. But I won't say I don't have pity, but this is what happened to Liverpool last season. We had 4 competitions. We played 64 games. So it's not even this season you should be worried about. It's the after effect for next season. Because if you go all the way to the final of the Europa, get to the FA Cup final, that means you guys would have played over 60 games this season. Unless you guys are refreshing your squad, I think it's going to have a knock-on effect, because look at the teams suffering this season, like West Ham. West Ham also played maybe close to 60 games that season. Look how they're struggling this season. But yeah, the first half was good. Nottingham Forest, I wouldn't say they're a bad team, because at least they beat Liverpool, so they're not that bad. But I just think they didn't have enough cutting edge. And Anthony and was the other Anthony, Martial, like they were just ripping them to bits. And Bruno did well also. It was a deserved win, but I don't think you guys can read much into that, because Forest, they're on a bad run of form. They're in bad run of form. Your injury problems are a big worry, though. Your injury problems are a big worry.
Yeah, and I do agree with you. I think the best we can hope for, and I didn't think about the knock-on effect for next season. I was not even thinking about that. Because if you're right, if we do go ahead and get to the Europa League final, we're going to play all these games, but only using a handful of players to fulfill those games.
Yeah.
We do not have a squad that is rotatable. I don't know if that's the word. And the players that are half decent that can come in and do a job, they're done. They're injured. So it is, I think, the priority for Manchester United fans, and honestly, Eric Ten Hag as well, would be just crawl to that finish line as best as you can. And I'm talking about the top 4 finish line.
Right.
Forget the FA Cup, forget the Europa League, because it's just not feasible. You just cannot realistically compete in all those competitions with literally maybe 12, 13 fully fit, first team players that can deliver. But today's game, I thought it was today's game almost gave me PTSD in relation to what happened with Sevilla during the week. We had gone 2 goals up against Sevilla, and we needed that third goal. We absolutely needed that third goal to just end any hopes Sevilla had of coming back into the game and into the tie. And that was the same thing that happened with Nottingham Forest. We went ahead early, and I knew we needed that second goal, and it did not come until I think 70-something minute. So I mean, it's a good win, but I'm concerned about the bigger picture. We have it's crazy because when I saw the lineup, I saw Sabitzer was in there. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And then I had to go run an errand, came back home 5 minutes after the game had started watching, like, where is Oga Sabinos inside this match? I didn't know he had pulled up. He had pulled up. Hamstring. Oh God.
Yeah. So that means out for a few weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. At least 3 weeks. But positive. The one positive I'm going to mention is Anthony. I think Anthony is adding a different dimension to his game these days, and I've seen that over the last 3-4 games. He's using his right foot more. I never thought I'd see this day where Anthony would use his right foot. And he's actually taking on defenders. Shout out to Jadon Sancho as well. He shows that he can. He showed that he can hold it down in the absence of people like Rashford and Garnacho. So anyway, that's about that for Manchester United. Does anybody else want to chime in? EJ, Dio?
I mean, I watched the game. I thought at first, obviously, I was hoping you guys would lose. And even though it doesn't affect anything for me on the table, I was like, it just make my day if United loses this game. I watched 2 minutes in. I was like, damn it, this is going to be a walk in the park. That's why I thought it would be a walk in the park for United after 2 minutes. You look at my chat group, I was like, they're going to win this game with ease. Obviously, it didn't. The numbers didn't play out that way. But if you guys saw how you were, I think you troubled your goalkeeper. Seriously, I think he had to put in a shift just to keep
some ridiculous saves today.
Wow. Right, just to make it respectable. I think it could have been way worse. So, I mean, that's a positive to take. And I honestly didn't know Eriksen was close to coming back. So he's the one who played for this guy who was out. So that's good for you. It's good to have him back, right? So, but yeah, like you guys have said, the injuries are just piling up. I didn't realize until I saw the list somewhere on Twitter. I was like, whoa, all these people are not there. That's not going to be fun. But yeah, it's a good game by you guys today.
Yeah, there should be a whole hospital wing named after Manchester United. The way we have players out, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. And seeing what Tony Martial did today and what he did against Sevilla as well, it just makes me even more angry because it's like you see something that is really, really good, but you're not gonna have it for long.
Right, because it's him. You never know with him.
Yeah. So yeah, that is that with Manchester United. Look, it is what it is. Hopefully we can crawl to that finish line. Now let's go on to this Hollywood FC club. that that are acting like prima donnas of Europe, bruh. Daya, what is happening?
Well, that has always been our Bayern. Is we are traditionally like a. That's why we got it title of FC Hollywood from. I remember when I started following, we always have people like that are crazy in the dressing room. Lothar Matthäus, Stefan Effenberg, Lisa Razou, Giovanni Halber. They are always
Hmm.
someone is taking someone's girlfriend, or the
Yes.
coaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's always been the that's that's where the FC Hollywood tag came from, or people beating themselves up in training.
Ah. So you guys
Yeah,
are
I
more
think
Hollywood
Effenberg.
than the French national team.
Yeah, like those are small fries. That's why Matthias is a legendary German player, but he can never get a role in Bayern. And we have front office that cannot shut up too. Juliones, he talks about everything and
Hmm.
he analyzes everything. And if the press is like own little Donald Trump, like if the press says anything bad about a Bayern player, we give them a call, personal call, like don't hurt my players, don't come at my players, like like it's
Wow.
a very protective environment, and they take. And another thing, is that currently, it has always been, someone sits beside a coach on the bench. Someone from management sits beside a coach on the bench
Really?
in management.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like somebody from
yeah.
upstairs?
Yeah.
Yes, sit beside the coach
Wow.
on the
Why?
on the bench to justify every sub you're making.
Tradition.
Yeah, like we know football too. Don't bamboozle us here. Don't just tell me, oh, your tactics say you should bring this guy in. Justify why this guy is coming in and why are you playing
Wow.
this tactic exactly. So currently it's
Wow.
Nepi that sits on the bench with. Before it used to be Salihamidzic before he went upstairs. Sometimes it used to be Juliones that would sit beside him, and
Yeah.
if I'm paying you, I'm paying these players, you have to justify it. So you're not coming. A lot of coaches have succeeded elsewhere and they have failed at Bayern. Like, they might win trophies, but Ancelotti has done it. He got fired real quick. Kovac. See, there was a time like Louis Van Gaal came into when he was in Bayern
Mhm.
with his combustible personality versus Bayern combustible personalities. Like,
Hmm.
there was a time he pulled down his pants in the dressing room to show them he has big balls.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that one.
Yeah.
That's not a
So
rumor. That actually
yeah.
happened. Yeah.
Yep. So they're just waiting for you to have the next run of three bad results and you're out. Because okay, what happened with Louis Van Gaal was he benched Luca Toni and Miro Klose. Those were management buys.
Hmm.
Before, so by benching them, you have to win all your games. Don't lose anyone. The moment you lose, you have to explain why Luca Toni is on the bench, why Miro Klose is on, because those ones have gone to report to the other guy like, this is your new guy you hired is benching me, and you
Wow.
can't be benching our key players. So that's the environment Sadio Mane was coming into. We bought Sadio
Hmm.
Mane to be our nine. We didn't buy him to be a winger. We lost Lewandowski and we bought Sadio Mane to replace him. So
But
far, Sadio
was
Mane has
that a
been.
realistic expectation though? Does like
That was
could
what he played
Mane
in the.
really
That
replace
was what he
them?
played in the last 6 months in Liverpool.
Yep. Correct.
That was what he played in the last 6 months in Liverpool. And
Yeah.
given Mane's age too, he can conserve energy by playing up top versus playing on
Okay.
the wings. Playing on
Okay.
the wings, you need to be younger and you put more mileage. In the up front, you can just manage yourself. That was what he did in Liverpool in the last 6 months, and you notice that his production increased in Liverpool in the last 6 months. So
Correct.
that was what we're trying to replicate, and we are giving him like 23 million a season to do that. And if you are giving Sadio Mane 23 million to be our striker and he lost that to Choupo-Moting, then that is not a
34-year-old Chupamonkey.
yes.
34-year-old
And
Chupamonkey.
Stoke
and he
City,
lost
Stoke City.
Stoke City Choupo-Moting,
Stoke
and
City.
he lost that to Choupo-Moting, then you're not doing well at all.
Wow.
We have Serge Gnabry, we have Serge Gnabry, Leroy Sané, Kingsley Coman, Musiala that are younger and can play the wings. So leave
Yeah.
the wings for us. But
True.
if we are having to, because of Mane's inabilities, we're having to now accommodate him on the wings, then it shows we didn't pay you 23 million to come and play on the wings with Musiala or any of these guys.
Yeah.
So there's frustration. Probably a lot of people will be on the team like, okay, you are paying this guy 23 million. He's not even guaranteed a starting share. He's not even playing well. His production is low. So why is this 23 million guy not doing anything, and I'm 12 million? So is either you upgrade me or something. So he has not been delivering, and I think that frustration got to him. The biggest games he doesn't get to play. He didn't start versus Dortmund, didn't start versus PSG, didn't start versus Man City.
Yeah.
Those are the type of games you need your marquee player for, and he has not been doing that. So understandably, he got frustrated, and he did the worst thing you can possibly do at a team like Bayern. Like, well, you are not delivering and you are punching people. So he now has a mark on his target for the rest of his Bayern career. The press will never let that go. Like, you can't, like, it's like you buying Cristiano Ronaldo, he's not delivering and he's punching people. Like, they will be analyzing every part of his life. Unfortunately for Mane, he has that streak in him. He's not a very gentle boy. He's a good person off the field. Like, outside of the training pitches and the football field, he's an awesome individual. But, he's also a fiery person too. He's feisty. He gets into it.
Mane is a madman. People need to remember.
Exactly. So
I was saying
he's
it.
not Kante.
I'm not
He's
going to
not
gloat.
Kante.
I'll let you finish, but I'm not going to gloat.
He's not
I'm
Kante. He's not a gentle man. He's a combustible person. Like, he has gotten in Liverpool. He has done it with Salah. He has done it with Klopp.
Yes.
Yeah.
He did with Nagelsmann in Bayern before. And Nagelsmann, I think maybe he's probably older than Nagelsmann. He was like, just calm down. Yep. And he did it with Robertson too. So he's not like he gives his all on the pitch, but maybe he gets emotional too. And when you start throwing punches, you don't have whatever your grouse was. You don't have any. And that rumor that came about that it was racial, that's bullshit. That was
I was gonna ask about that because
I heard about that on Twitter.
Okay.
Okay. I think it was just his PR guy trying to relate to that. But unfortunately for him, he's a Senegalese brother. Like, if they can't settle that over jollof rice, like, maybe Senegal jollof is not just eat, like, yeah. So it's just like you saying Iwobi is insulting Ndidi.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Because one has a German passport and one has a Niger passport, or what? That doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, Iwobi can't be insulting Ndidi that, yes. We don't even want to entertain those kind of
I don't know why people believe that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll
so that's all I have to say. Let me just give it to Ola. Go ahead.
Ola, go ahead.
Well, for me, it's not a matter of we told you so. It's not a matter of that. I know at the beginning of the season, I remember how many trolls Liverpool fans received. Like, oh, you guys are missing Mane. Oh, look at Mane FC.
I remember. Yeah. I might have been a party to some of them.
So I'm not going to gloat. I'm just going to point out the simple facts, and Dai has covered some of them. Mane is a lovely person, but on the pitch, he can be very combustible. And I'm sure even Arsenal fans, in some of their compilation videos of decisions that have gone against them, Mane will appear at least 2 or 3 times. Because there were times, EJ is even raising her hand 5 times. Because there are times in national matches where people have come up to challenge him. Maybe they're trying to grab the ball off him and he'll swing an elbow. He'll swing an elbow and he'll get a yellow card, not a red card. And Arsenal fans will be like, hey, look at that. Hey, he's supposed to get a red card. He's combustible. But the thing is, it's off the pitch persona, bleeds into the pitch and lets people forgive him of those discrepancies. It's like Kante in a way. Golo Kante, EJ will know this too, because people, they put him on such a pedestal and like everything he does is smelling of fresh roses. Like, this guy can never do any wrong. And that's the same thing with Mane, because he's such a lovely person off the pitch and people are ready to forgive him anything. And that's why I agree with Dio when he says that rumor of, Sane racially abused him. It's a PR move. I'm sure, maybe Sane said something bad to him, but it wasn't racially motivated at all. I don't believe that. And there's still no grounds for you punching your teammate. Now, football-wise, Dio was right. The last 6 months, Mane played up front and his production went up. He scored a lot of goals, assists, all of that. But before that, he was getting benched. He was getting benched at Liverpool. The reason was his production had dropped and he started getting benched in the big games. In fact, when Dio mentioned that Mane clashed with Klopp, it was because when Liverpool went to Man U to beat Man U 5-0, Mane was on the bench. and he came on for maybe 15 minutes. And after the match, Klopp wanted to do his normal Oggy. Mane just shook him off. It was caught on camera.
Wow.
Mane shook him off and just like leave me alone, as in very aggressively. And Klopp was so stunned. There's a video, you can find the video for it. So he has been.
You tried that with Guardiola.
Yeah. He has that streak in him. Football wise, I think it's also, I'll blame Klopp for this. I think Klopp puts a lot of mileage into many of these players. How many players leave Liverpool after Klopp and succeed elsewhere?
And then go ahead, yeah.
Look at Coutinho, flop. He went elsewhere, flop. I mean, how many of the top players that have left Liverpool have gone to greater things elsewhere? Because Klopp, he has run the legs of these guys. For the past 4 or 5 years, they've run, get press. So by the time we now sell him to Bayern, of course, Mane is on the downward curve already. He's on the downward curve. So it's also part of Klopp's problem that he runs his players into the ground, and it's affecting us now because we've not replaced the kind of impact he had. We have players who play from that side. Jota plays from the left. Diaz plays from the left. Both of them were injured this season. I started playing Nunes, our striker. I started playing our striker on the left because we didn't have anybody there. So I feel sorry for him. I hope it turns around well for him, but it doesn't seem happy at Bayern. And Bayern will chew you up and spit you out. Unfortunately, if you don't deliver, even when you deliver, they can still chew you up and spit you out. That's Bayern Munich. Yeah, so that's it. I hope they just brush it off eventually, and maybe it comes to some form, because he's genuinely a good person. It's just that, man, that guy has a fiery character. He has a combustible component to him that people just ignore, and people just pretend like, oh, this guy. Even when he was at Liverpool, they're always taking his side again. When they do the Salah against Mane thing, it's always, oh, Mane is the angel, Salah is the demon. That's how they always used to brush it up. But this season, Salah has 24 goals. Salah is on track for another 30-goal season. But at the beginning of the season, we couldn't hear a word. They were like, oh, Salah is finished. Mane is gone. Because of Mane now, nobody's passing to Salah. Salah is on track for another 30-goal season without penalties. The 2 penalties he has got this season, he blasted it over the back. So people that even say, oh, he's padding it with penalties. He has got 24 goals from open play. So no gloating. I'm just spitting facts. that's all I have to say.
So does he survive the transfer window?
There are conversations already, like, is it a breach of there's a clause like, when you sign a contract, there are expectations of personal behavior that you shouldn't do. Though Sane has come to his aid and say, okay, let's forget this is just in the heat of the moment. Which will go a long way, because but there's a part about 23 million not delivering too that you can want to tie into that. Like, okay, you're 23 million a season not delivering, and you are now doing this kind of throwing punches. Well, they can, if Liverpool brings money, we'll throw it at them. Like, at this point, I'm ready to return all the guys that came from England. They have been mega flops in Germany. Leroy Sané, Cancelo, Sadio Mane, all of them mega flops. Like,
Cancelo just got there, right?
Yeah, and he's on the bench. Getting benched by Stanisic.
What about Gnabry? Gnabry, was he not from England?
Well, we gave him a halfway house in Werder Bremen. That is we have a halfway house in Werder Bremen, so that was a condition.
And Gnabry was also young enough. He was also young enough to to get through the halfway house safely.
Even Leroy Sané, major disappointment. Like, I was all for him, but his football just never matured. Like, just running into alleys.
But he played well against City. And he played very well against City.
Yeah, he was motivated. Like, he wanted to do something against his team. But that's Sané. He will be very mercurial in one game, and next game you just like you're looking for him all over. So So Mane, I think he will survive, but the press will be on him every day at this point. But some people are like, okay, he doesn't deserve the 23 million given what he's delivering. So every move of his, they'll be tracking him before
and Bayern Munich is one of those clubs where how Real Madrid fans will turn on Gareth Bale, right?
Yep.
Like in a heartbeat. I feel like Bayern Munich fans will do the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. All right. Well, let's talk about Arsenal.
Elephant
Let's
FC.
talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about the elephant on the tree in the room. DJ, when I ask how are you, seriously, how are you though? Like, I see that your glasses is shaking small. It's not balanced on your face.
Yeah, I think that's just the glasses. I think I mean, let's see. Today is an interesting day, right? I didn't watch the Liverpool game, but I think it all starts from there because at that point we had I think 9 games left to go in the season, and then we're looking at games looking for where we could find the points. So I just want to, as an Arsenal fan, we need to stop trying to predict these games and then thinking that we can come up with outcomes, because on any given Sunday anything can happen, right?
Yes.
I definitely thought we'll get nothing from Liverpool. If you had told me to map out the points, and I think I mapped it out on paper, I was like 0 points from Liverpool, 0 points from City, but every other game is winnable. And then we get a draw at Liverpool. Forget how everything happened. Obviously, we could have won. I also think after I looked at the game, I was like, I think we snuck out with a point because I think Liverpool could have also won.
Mm-hmm.
And then this game was just, it's a capitulation, right? Like, we are up 2-0 and we just cede control to West Ham. And if you cede control to any team that's battling relegation, that needs the points, then we're going to get what we get. Both goals they scored against us were like, they were just like poor goals. Penalties, what are we giving away a penalty for? What are we giving away a guy running past you after a free kick? Like, what? Those are like,
and your guy missed a penalty too.
Right. And then you miss a penalty, which my son Saka, he has not missed a penalty this year, right?
Yeah.
So even though it's funny because Jesus was holding the ball, I was like, oh, let's let Jesus, let him take the penalty. But I don't think it even matters. And I'm with who was saying it. I don't think it matters that we missed the penalty. We're 2-1 up. I really didn't think we would rue that miss. I was like, we don't need to rue the miss. We're 2-1 up. We have way better quality than this team. We should be able to see this out. Even when they scored, we're 2-2. It was 54 minutes. I was like, in 40 minutes, if this team can't find a goal, what are we doing here? So it's angering, right? It's very angering, and the chances of us winning this league is, I'll describe it. I think we're hanging on by a thread. You guys know what a thread looks like. You guys like to call it elephant on the table. Fine. I think we're hanging on by a thread. The reason I say we're hanging on by a thread after the Liverpool draw was because we have that City has the game in hand. And like you guys said earlier, City is a team that can just go on streaks. And you said 10-game winning streak. Before Liverpool, I think we were on an 8-game winning streak in the league. So City can do that, and they can. If you look at their fixtures, every time City plays, they're the favorites. So they're all winnable fixtures, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we are hanging on by a thread. If they win their game in hand, it comes to both of us. If they draw that game, if they beat us, then we're out. Like, we're not there. And if we win out and they beat us, we're number 2. That's what that means. Now we're hanging on by, when the thread unravels, but there's one sliver still holding. Yes. That's what we're hanging on by, because it is in our hands if we win out. That's just the fact. If we win out the next 7 games, it is in our hands. Can we do it? If we want to win the title, we need to do it. That's what I'm going to say. So if you're asking me what the implications are, how nervous am I? EJ and Ekwa, we finished at number 2. But that's
Pim.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Do I like? If you're going to ask me personally,
this your reverse Pim is not. This your reverse Pim is not going to work.
No. I'm being serious right now. I just like EJ and Ekwa thinks that based on when I make predictions, and again I said this in the beginning, I don't think we should make predictions anymore because any given Sunday anything can happen. But if I was to make predictions, I'm going to look at what current form and past evidence. Past evidence says that City meets Arsenal at City, Arsenal will lose. That's the evidence I've seen for the last 5 years.
Are you scared of? Because you still have to go to Newcastle, right?
Mm-hmm. Right. I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared of West Ham. We don't lose to West Ham periodically. We don't lose or draw, whatever.
I mean,
I was
you guys
scared
did
West.
not lose. You didn't lose today, did you? No, you didn't lose.
Well, lose or draw. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
We don't
Oh,
lose
okay.
or draw to West Ham usually at all. Like I think the last time we drew against them was maybe 2 years ago when we are going through our little issues. But
yeah.
yeah, Newcastle's a problem, right? Brighton, we're playing Brighton again, which feels like we've already played them many times this season. But I guess we still have to play them. Southampton is not a joke. Southampton is a boogie team for us, at home or away. So these are little things that now it's like, okay, and these are teams that are battling, right? Newcastle trying to get into top 4. Southampton is trying to, I think they'll be relegated. But they're trying. Right. But like, so nothing's going to be handed to us. I just think these guys, like, they're a young team. They've done a good job so far. I can't really fault them. Every time I want to criticize them, I'm like, you know what? Teams are going to do what you're going to do. Like, these players, like, you're not playing in a silo. You're not playing against robots. You're playing against teams that have their own ambitions. Yes, we're emotionally invested and everything, but, well, we can't really kill ourselves over this. So I wish them the best. I think if they want to win it, they have to go take it. It's still in their hands. Go do it. I back them to do it. But long story short, I think we're looking at solid second. I think we're looking at something.
I don't want you to like air like dirty laundry in public, but in your group chats, how's the atmosphere?
Yeah, the atmosphere is mixed. It's really mixed. I'll tell you why. It's the same thing where people are saying, half of us are saying, wow, we really think that this game is the game where we've lost everything. Like, we've lost the league. And then the other half are like, I mean, it's still in our hands. So everyone is like, let's just be patient. So you have that mix. And I think it took me the hours between the game and maybe an hour before this podcast. After the game, I mean, it's on Twitter. I was like, yep, another one in the bag for City. That's what I said. But now I'm like a little bit more calm. I'm like, okay. Again, I do think that I've always said that City were the favorites, right? I've always said, I'm consistent in saying that. But can I not hope? Of course I can. So I don't think those two things are mutually exclusive. I still want my team to win this thing, right? But we'll see what happens.
They're not mutually exclusive.
Right.
I'll tell you what it is. Arsenal and winning the league. Those are mutually exclusive. But I think Arsenal fans should, regardless of what happens, they can, and this is not troll or anything. They can be proud of what they achieved this season, especially with the young squad. This is Arteta's first job. Sometimes I forget that this is Arteta's actual first job. And I mean, like, as head coach, manager, whatever of a team. So it still bothers me how well they've done this season, and especially for a lot of people who, I mean, we don't need to name names, but the Arteta out people, right, that have been, yelling on top of the mountains for 2 years, and now it seems like they've turned into believers. They're trusting the process. If Arsenal does not win the league, those people do not get to blame the coach again.
I agree.
I just feel like that's just way too much flip-flopping.
Yeah.
Right? You were a doubter.
Absolutely.
You did not believe in this man at all. And then the man was out here doing Jesus settings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you're a believer.
Right.
But just because you don't win the league, and again, if you guys don't win the league, it won't be because you're trash. It's just because you have Manchester. Ask Ola. I mean, you have Manchester City, who if you have 98 points,
PTSD.
if you have 98 points, City will get 99.
Yeah,
if you have 99, they'll get 101.
Like, how can you compete with that?
Yeah, it's hard to compete.
Or 99.5.
with half row difference.
Yes.
It's dispiriting, to be honest. I was saying to somebody was saying yesterday, I think it was an Arsenal fan was like, I think City scored twice within 10 minutes yesterday or whatever. As usual, they went into a 3-goal lead within 20 minutes. And this Arsenal fan was like, man, this is so boring. Man City are making this league so boring. They're just blowing everybody out. And I was like, now you feel how Liverpool fans felt when we're trying to challenge with this guy. It's like you guys just said, you score 98 points, they score 99. You score 97 points, you score 98. Like you go, and that's what I agree with Oga Kwame. It doesn't mean Arsenal are a bad team. In fact, I'm sure Arsenal will get close to maybe 90 something points this season, which is enough to win the league in a normal league.
But now we win the league with 89 points.
Exactly. People are winning with 86 points before. But Arsenal will probably get 92, 93 points this season, and that might not be enough. It's so sad, it's dispiriting, because when we talk about financial doping, and when we start saying, oh, Lance Armstrong MC, City are Lance Armstrong FC and all that, people will think that it's sour grapes. Oh, that you guys are bitter because you lost the game. But that's what financial doping does. Because when you look at the squad, you know, I'm not saying they're not playing good football, they're a good team, but they've been helped with a lot of money. Now some clubs waste money. They spend their money wisely. But it's still financial doping, because now they're under investigation, 105 charges of financial whatever, the Mago and 419 that they've done. So it's dispiriting, but you guys have to cop for it, because I'm not going to say I'm going to have so much pity because nobody had pity on us when Liverpool were losing by 1 point. But before I go, I think the biggest fixture actually is, I'm not trolling, Arsenal-Chelsea is after Man City Arsenal. People are ignoring that because
I totally agree with that. Yeah,
people are thinking that Arsenal Chelsea is going to be a walkover, but I'm telling you, Chelsea have nothing to play for this season.
Yes,
that match they're going to die there. That's what they did against Spurs. They will make sure they die there. They have nothing to play for. Their 11th, 12th, 13th.
Yeah,
they are going to show up for that match. And people will think it's trolling. I'm not trolling. I just believe Chelsea will show up for that match. They'll probably get knocked out of Champions League next week. So that's their biggest match after the Champions League. So people are ignoring that. You're talking about Newcastle, Brighton, fair enough. But I think you guys have to watch out for that Chelsea match. They're coming there to just come and spoil the party for you guys.
Yeah, and you're right. And these are, like, I don't know, and I can't call any game now. Like, it's very hard to call any game. After what I saw today, I was like, you know what? You can score 2 goals in the first 10 minutes, which is what we did, and still draw the game. You know, what are we conceding for? But again, I do have to say, our back line, it sounds like an excuse. Our back line is what? I thought he was traveling.
He has time for you. He has time for trolling us now.
I know, I'm like, what's happening here? Anyway, we're being serious. Anyway. Our back line is who? Rob Holding. Like, you guys are talking about injuries, right?
Yeah.
These crucial injuries where, like, we had Saliba for the first, up until that Europa League game that we ended up losing. And after that, like, we have been very solid in the back. These cheap goals, no. Set piece goals, no. That's not something we really have been doing all season. And then I'm not blaming Rob Holding, right? I'm really not, because it's hard to pinpoint him. But then we made these 2 changes, Zinchenko and Rob Holding, and things like that, little things like that. Tinkering of the back line is just it's not gonna be helpful. We can't go with that guy Holding for the rest. Like, we can't even face City with Holding. Haaland will kill him. Like, I'm just thinking, I'm like, Haaland versus Holding. Holding cannot run. First of all, he can't even run. Like, and he doesn't have good. I thought he had good spatial awareness. He doesn't really have that. So, if I see him on the pitch that day, I'm already just not watching. Luckily, he's in the middle of the week. Usually, in the middle of the week, I'm at work, so I can actually avoid that game again. But no, like, our team, there's not that many injuries. We just don't have backups. And again, the drop off from team A to team B is just, it's not like City. City will get an injury. The next player in is like slot and replace. To us, you lose Saliba, you bring in Rob Holding that hadn't played in 4 months, or there's no one to back Ben White right now. Ben White is right back. Tomiyasu is injured. We will have to bring someone from the academy to play right back if Ben White goes down. Tierney, that one's going to be injured. I think he may even be injured after today's game. So we're looking at no Zinchenko, no Tierney. I don't know who plays left back. So things like that, when you try to compete with City, we're struggling with a big drop off from team A to team B. It's hard to do. So, like I said, if you want to do it, go for it. If you want to win, go for it. But if we don't, I'm not going to be one of the people like Oga Kwame said. I can't really fault the team. I know what I came into the season saying. I thought we would finish third at the beginning of the season. Yes, we looked like we could win this thing. It was very exciting for a period of time. It's still in our hands. It's just that the odds look completely out of our favor. So let's see what happens. I also don't think that one thing I want to say, I don't think that if we lose today, this year, we're screwed next season. I really don't think that. That's the narrative I keep hearing. I heard it last year. We improved. I think we can keep improving. We're still my boys are young. It's not like other teams that have older players. So I think we're okay.
To solve your
I'll
injury
be strong.
crisis, to solve your injury crisis, though, you feel free to come get Maguire, even for a loan. We'll give it to you. You don't want?
No,
No.
thank you.
What of
We don't
Upamecano?
have a center back problem. Oh, we do have a center back problem. Sorry.
Yeah,
What
I'm saying, Maguire is a center back. At least that's what they say.
What of
So,
Upamecano?
Dyer is offering Upamecano.
No thanks. No
yo,
thanks.
listen, that Upamecano.
Oops, Marcana.
Wow.
Down Upamecano.
Some people said Upamecano changed his name to Uber Mechanic.
Yeah, you should
But,
pay.
yeah.
You should pay Maguire for some team, like
Daddy, I'm going to come to you to get some thoughts, but let me read these comments by shaky.
I don't even know what he means.
You know,
You don't know
you
that
don't remember
advert.
that commercial from Nigeria.
That's
Mommy,
commercial from Nigeria.
daddy shaking. Shaky, daddy.
Oh, you don't know it's for
I mean, I know
flu
the
tablets.
commercial, but like, I don't like. How am I shaking?
Because you're nervous.
You're shaking on the tree.
You
You
have
have
a
to
fever.
fall off the
Oh,
tree.
okay.
Yeah,
He means Arsenal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good though.
That it's squeaky bum time. It's all getting tickly now. It is. Then man, we're booking for referee. Okay, so Dio, you're not a stranger to the Premier League, but you're an outsider. You're an uninterested party. Me, I am very interested. I am interested.
hates Arsenal.
I am invested in Arsenal not winning this league.
Dyer is biased. He's a Pep fan.
I'm
He's
a Pep fan.
Okay.
So
He's a
I'm
biased.
interested. I'm interested in Pep turning into his backyard farm. That's my greatest interest.
Farmers League.
To farm it so much that yeah.
So you don't really hate. So your point of view is not coming from a hate for Arsenal like me.
Well, I don't. Arsenal is too little. Why would you be hating on Arsenal? Like,
Bro, they're about to win the league.
it's not fair. No, like let me just. Okay, the thing is, I saw I didn't see the game. I was checking live score. I saw Arsenal was 2-0 ahead. Okay, easy game.
Routine,
2-2. Oh, there we go again. Arsenal, they always do it. Like historically, when Gallas was crying on the field, all those times that they'll be leading for all the season, they will just cry. But well, I won't say it's all gloomy right now because Arsenal is playing Southampton. If they win that, they'll go 7 points ahead of City, and they are hosting. They are going to Etihad. If by some miracle they win in Etihad, that's 10-point gap with 6 or 7 games to go. Like, there's something to look forward to. It's not like it's just gloomy. Well, if you now lose to Southampton, okay, then you can pack up and just go home. But if point on the table, City has a game in hand, we know that you take point on the table anyway, any day, rather than have game in hand, or it can go any way. We've seen yesterday City went 3-0 ahead, and if Kelechi had kept his head, they could have equalized.
That is right.
Things like this happen, and City is also distracted a little bit. Okay, let's say they dispatch Bayern midweek. They have 2 games against Madrid coming. It's not like
and they still have FA Cup as well.
Yeah, they're still haunted by the ghost of Madrid last season. It's not just gonna be easy for them. And Arsenal tried, to be fair to them. Beginning of the season, nobody would think that in middle of April, Arsenal would be competing for the league. This is they are way ahead of the curve right now. They are not supposed to be here. This is not their playing ground. Look at Arsenal's lineups. Look at their team sheet. I don't even half of the players. If you put their picture, I don't even know them. And, they're competing for the league. That's it. And that's what Liverpool has had to deal with for several years. And it takes mental toughness and all these things to compete with City. And Ola said something about financial doping. Well, that's what you sell in the Premier League. That is, you can't eat your cake and have it. You can't sell, it's the most competitive league in the world. It's most competitive because of financial doping. Chelsea, Roman brought. How did Chelsea become a team? It's because Roman was doping the team with his money. And the first season he came in, he spent in 2003, he spent 160 million in those days, 20 years ago. When Arsenal was spending 30, 40 million, it was spending 160. at the point in Mourinho's 3 years, he bought like three. He would buy Asiedo. He will have a left back. Galas, he will put Asiedo. No, and cash the
Now,
call
the
on it.
difference is those guys did it by the book. City are doing
Which
financial
book?
fraud.
Which book?
They did it by the book. City are hiding figures. They're inflating figures.
Okay, because there
Commercial
was no
deals.
financial fair play in those days.
So now the fair play is there, and they're not
Okay,
abiding
so
by it.
it's
So they're
still the
breaking
same
the
thing.
rules now. They're
Well,
breaking the rules now. That's what I mean.
The thing is, everybody that wants to move from a small club to a big club, that way they have to bring money somehow, and they have to find a way, creative way
You
of
can
hiding
do
it.
it. Look at Brighton. You can do it without breaking the rules. You
Let's
can
see how much of
even
their players.
Newcastle are doing it without breaking the rules.
Let's
You
see how
can do
much
it
of their
without breaking
players
the rules.
remain after this season.
But what about Newcastle? Are they doing any mago?
We'll find out
following
now.
the rules. They're following the rules.
Oh, so which rule did they get them 70 million to play Isak?
They have not been spending. They have. Let me explain financial fair play. Financial fair play. If you have not overspent, that's why even Chelsea could splurge. Chelsea have not broken any rules because they had a transfer ban, so they didn't spend. So they give them a limit to spend. That okay, if you have not overspent 225 million in 3 years, if you have not declared a loss of that over 3 years, then that means you can have owner cash injection. You can check it. Those are the rules. So even Chelsea have not broken the rules because they had a period where they were not spending. Newcastle under Mike Ashley, they were worse than Liverpool because their owner was so stingy. So they were not spending. So now that's why they can afford 70 million for Isak without breaking the rules. But what City do is they inflate commercial deals. They were paying people under the table. You know, these are things that we knew for years. Was it not in German media that it was leaked? The Spiegel. The Spiegel leaked this years ago. It's just that UEFA couldn't pin them down because UEFA were stupid, and also it was time barred. It was time barred, so that's why City escaped. Now, I'm not saying that City. Don't get me wrong. They play fantastic football. They've won it on the pitch. They've won it on the pitch. Those players played. They sweated blood to win the trophies. But you cannot tell me that that's not a factor. In that, like all of these things it's not a factor in them winning it. That's why.
Just like okay, Chelsea went from being fourth, fifth regularly perennial to winning the league.
They had financial doping, but they didn't break the rules. That's what I'm saying. And when they broke the rules, they got punished. When they broke the rules, they got punished. They got a transfer ban. Chelsea had a transfer ban because they broke the rules. So that's why we're saying that City should also get punished because they are.
Maybe they'll get their transfer ban when they've already stocked their fridge.
So what are the chances that they will get punished this season to where they
sorry, EJ, it's not gonna
happen. See, when you stock your fridge with enough players, you can afford two transfer bans. It's just stock your players ahead, or do creative loan deals. Oh, I didn't sign a player; just a loan. And you know,
8 year
Modric and extend until 9 years.
It's like a prison sentence.
But that's not breaking up the rules. The rules allow them to do that. 8 year deals. The rules allow them to do that.
So the part I'm sad for
and they amortize the money for over 8 years.
So, the part I'm sad for Arsenal is unlike EJ, this was a downtime for other clubs. You only had to deal with Man City. This might have been your opportunity to just grab an unlikely league title and we don't care about it for next 7 seasons. But now Manchester United is coming. They are bringing their own Alaji to come and spend money. Newcastle is coming again. Chelsea with their 600 million, they are not even done yet. Liverpool might find their own Arab Prince too. So any season you don't win it, it's an opportunity loss unless you have it's City that can say, okay, we are back next season. Arsenal cannot confidently say that. Who tells you that Saka will still be your player next season? Like
God, please.
See, it's the reality. Like, you know, all the good players, Odegaard, Madrid might just recall him back. Okay, it's time to come back home.
No, Saka is the contract is on the table.
What? He has not signed it. It's on the table.
We're going to add 1 more 0.
He's on the table collecting dust. He has not. I don't sign this. Real Madrid did the Gareth Bale replacement.
Yeah, so all those things too. So that's why if you don't win, like, you know, we don't.
Yeah, those are. That's exactly what everyone said last season too. So again, I still stand by. I think we will also try our best to compete. We're still in the period, right? Like Ola said, we are in the phase where, or maybe it was you that said that we're ahead of schedule.
Yep.
So we just need to keep.
You
I
are
think
ahead of
what it
them,
is, I saw it on Twitter, and I think it's a fair point. I think the team is a step ahead of our board. There are a lot of things like, okay, and it's true, the fact that we are struggling with Rob Holding, or we're having to deal with Rob Holding as a backup. We should have a more effective backup that fits into our system. And the fact that we don't have one is because we didn't get one in the window or at any window. We didn't bring anyone in apart from the Polish guy, and I haven't seen him play yet. I honestly don't know what position he is. He may be more of a right back, or maybe he's a center back, but he has to be Keyword. Jakob Keyword.
It might be a center back or something like that.
Yeah. So what's the plan with him? I don't know. But yeah, and all the stopgaps we got instead, Jorginho, like Partey, these people are going to go. Like we're going to. You guys hear the rumor about us trying to go for Rice? Maybe we don't get it. Maybe we don't. Maybe we do. But we do need to replace. We need to have a proper backup for Partey. We can't have these stopgaps. Those are things that we're going to work on next season. And again, these kids are growing into their own. I think we're going to be just fine. But
so
yeah.
Last question to close out this segment before we move on to Champions League. EJ, on a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that Arsenal is going to win the league, with 10 being, super confident?
Because it would have been 0 because I think City will win. But it just sounds harsh. Like, that's the way you're making these faces. But no, I think I should give the boys hope. Even though I don't know, they don't watch the show. They'll be all right. I'll go encourage them on Instagram. But to be honest with you, I think City is winning this.
So 0 is that?
Let me give them. I'll give them a 5 for because they can try. They can do their best, and I think we need Saliba back. That's what I'll say. If we get Saliba back, we have a little bit more hope. But we can't go.
Look, the offer's still on the table. While you're waiting on Saliba, Maguire can do a job for you. Now, before we go to Champions League, let's talk about this assistant referee that allegedly, elbowed Andy Robertson. The league came out and said no further action will be taken, and it was pretty much nothing to see here. Let's move on. Ola, how do you feel about that?
Well, when they frame it, so there are two ways this story has been framed. There was the framing of no further action. Oh, the referee didn't do anything. The nice man didn't do anything. But when you read the details to see why there was no further action, you see that the linesman actually apologized to Andy Robertson. Howard Webb got a meeting of the linesman, got them on Zoom together, and made the linesman apologize. So the guy had to apologize to Robertson for the elbow. So it's not like, oh, there's no further action. He was innocent. No, it wasn't innocent. It's just that, okay, Robertson accepted this apology and they moved it on.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
What was surprising to me was, I don't know how it now became a tribalistic thing, that what we saw with our own eyes, people now started finding different justifications. I saw somebody lift an elbow into somebody's face, and people were like, oh, it's because Robertson touched his arm. If somebody touches your arm, you can move your arm forward. You can shrug him off by moving forward. Thank God we're on a video. I'm demonstrating it. If somebody touches me, I don't go moving my elbow up backwards and say I want to shrug that person off. If you're arguing with somebody and they grab your arm, you can move your arm forward and say, leave me alone. It's not a natural reaction to move your elbow into somebody's face. But people were saying, oh, yeah, he was just shrugging him off. When you shrug with your elbow, you shrug with your shoulders. That's what a shrug is. You shrug with your shoulders. But people now started turning it into this thing that, it was accidental. He was shrugging him off. No, it was not. He knew what he was doing. And that's why he apologized for it. He knew what he was doing. He raised that elbow into Robertson's face. Now, it's true, Robertson should not have gone to approach him at halftime. But many players do that. Players go into referees' faces, officials' faces, and do all of that. In all my years of football, I've never seen an official react that way. But people were ready to sweep it away under the carpet because it was the person involved. I know why. Because Robertson winds people up. He winds people up. Opposition fans don't like him. Let's say, for example, if that was England's finest Harry Kane. If it was Harry Kane that got elbowed in the face, do you think the press will write it off that way? They won't. Let's say, for example, it was a player who did that to an official. Look at Look at what Mitrovic got an 8-game ban for just grabbing the referee's hand. What if it was elbow? What if it was Robertson elbowing the referee? You think they'll sweep it under the carpet? No. It's just people now they're now turning it into like a club thing. Like, oh, it was pretty obvious what happened. The guy elbowed him and he apologized, which is fair. So that's the end of it. But I just felt it was strange to see people just trying to justify somebody elbowing somebody in the face. Now, it was not a strong elbow, to be fair. It was not like an elbow that will knock him out, but it was still an elbow. It caught him. He got him, even though they say, yeah, he touched his arm. He was trying to grab the referee. That doesn't mean you should. He was trying to grab the linesman. That doesn't mean you should get an elbow to the face. But thankfully, he apologized. They said, okay, it's fine. They move on. But I just don't think if it was Harry Kane who suffered that elbow, it would go away that way.
So the apology thing, and it bothers me because just because somebody apologizes for doing something illegal does not mean they shouldn't,
Yeah, I totally agree with that because Mitrovic apologized too, and he still got to 8 games.
Yeah.
So
and they still want more. They want
when I was younger, I would fight with my brothers. I would apologize to them. My mom would still whoop my ass.
Yeah,
so,
and it's not.
Just because somebody apologizes does not absolve them.
Yeah, because I don't have any dog in that fight, but it's just a double standard that they set. I felt the Mitrovic incident was overblown, and that 8-match ban. Okay, it deserves a ban, maybe 3 games or 4 games. 8-match, or probably kick him out of football totally. He should even jail his family or everything. Like they just wanted to and it's not like it wasn't like he knocked out the ref unconscious or anything. It was, So it was a push, just like Robertson. But when you said that, you have to keep the same energy. That's what I think. Okay, the apology was acceptable if it had been acceptable for Mitrovic, or they are now clamoring to chase him out of the league for daring to do that.
Yeah. Let me take comments. I don't know who this is. They say Martinelli might discover that he has been a long-term Barcelona fan, of PSG.
Okay, now he has signed a contract.
That doesn't matter. Coutinho signed a 5-year contract, and the following transfer window, he was gone. He was striking.
I mean, if they're going to pay 120 million for Martinelli, we will take it, right?
Yeah, that's the way it works. This Barcelona, Madrid, that's what they do. They don't care if you have just signed a new contract. They just come and say, okay, we'll pay you 100 million. And Martinelli will be like, okay, yeah, I'm gone.
Okay. Yeah.
And Martinelli will start giving stupid interviews of how his grandfather wore Barcelona pajamas.
When I was a young boy, I had Mbappe's picture. I had Mbappe's poster in my room.
A little boy is telling the boy, or what did Van Persie say about it?
The little boy inside me.
The little boy inside me. Then Fabregas was childhood Barca fan.
Yeah, we can even see Fabregas where it's coming from. Van Persie, like
it was like, really, Van Persie? Since when? And then there was a picture of him when he was small, actually in an Arsenal room. So it's like, which little boy are you talking about?
We know how this works.
Okay, let's do Champions League predictions. Quick fire, all right? And we're just gonna go around, and you guys are gonna say who you think progresses to the next round, to the semifinal. So, Daya, we're starting with you. Chelsea, Real Madrid. Who goes through?
Real Madrid.
Okay.
You need a scoreline.
Scoreline.
Give us scoreline, yeah.
And 3-1 Real Madrid again.
Okay, all right. Ola.
Madrid go through a draw. I think Chelsea might get a draw 1-1.
Okay. EJ, what you think?
5-2 aggregate Madrid.
5-2 aggregate Madrid. You did say that at the beginning. I think it ends 2-1 at Stamford Bridge in favor of Chelsea, and Madrid will still go through. Napoli, AC Milan.
Ooh.
It's currently 1-0 on aggregate to AC Milan. Who goes through, Daya?
AC Milan.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
A draw in Naples.
This is the toughest one.
A draw in Naples.
Okay, Osimhen is injured, right?
I think he's back. That's what I'm Googling. I'm Googling it now.
He came back yesterday, but it was a little off. They drew.
Okay, if he's back, then 4-1. Napoli. On aggregate,
Wow.
aggregate.
By the way, EJ, the first leg was in Naples and Milan won.
No. It was in Milan.
It was in Milan. Okay. Sorry.
Milan.
Scratch that. Yeah. So
Patrick,
the second leg is now in Naples. Okay.
Osimhen
Patrick
came in the
Osimhen.
73rd minute.
Say that
He
again.
what?
Dai.
He came in the 73rd minute yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's
Yeah.
back.
He's back. Yeah. Okay. So EJ, you're saying
The tide turns around.
Okay. Ola, what you think?
Well, with Osimhen back, hopefully it's fully fit. I think they might sneak it, maybe 2-0. Or it might go to extra time. It looks like that kind of game that will go to extra time and penalties. But I think Napoli might edge it.
Yeah. I think Napoli edges this one too. Because that first leg, Napoli kind of dominated a little bit in that game, even without Osimhen. So
yeah.
All right. Bayern Munich, Manchester City. Dio.
Manchester City qualifies 2-2 draw.
No miracles.
Okay.
No, Tuchel. See, that's the thing. People overrated Tuchel for his stint at Chelsea. He has always been Pep's boy. Pep was the one that actually, when Ancelotti was fired, Bayern went to meet Pep. That who do you think we should hire? And he recommended Tuchel. He has always been giving like Tuchel this pro. But that first 3 games in Chelsea overrated Tuchel, and after that, Pep started beating him. Now Pep has beaten him 3 games in a row. So yeah, he has lost the last 3 games to Pep now. So, and it's not looking any better with Mane even acting out and everything. So I think our strikers don't know how to score anymore. Our defenders are the ones scoring now, Pavard and the league. So we'll probably get a 2-2 draw, and they'll take out Haaland in the 58th minute, so it doesn't.
Because they would have scored like 2 goals, right?
Yeah. So,
is Neuer still a goalkeeper?
He broke his leg. Okay, he came from the World Cup and went to ski. He came from the World Cup, went to ski, broke his leg.
You should give them the in-depth detail. Oh, we have run out of time. You should give them the details of the drama that caused. That's why he's saying the FC Hollywood. If you know the drama that caused.
Okay, Neuer came back from World Cup. He went to ski, he broke his leg, and then he's out of the season. His friend and goalkeeper trainer Tapalovic, Nagelsmann, make sure they fired him.
Oh,
so that's Neuer got pissed at Nagelsmann. That was the beginning.
It was a big drama.
Beginning of the end for Nagelsmann too. Like okay, you fired my friend. Well, you two, you got to go.
Yeah, basically that's what happened. That's what happened. Yeah, they fired his friend while he was still injured. He was injured. They did it behind his back, and he was like, "Man, I'm not going to let this go."
Wow. So that means the boardroom really like gets behind some players, like the institution.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yes. Yeah.
They don't care about the coach.
Thinking about how to replace him.
Well, he's a legend. Like at this point, he can do no wrong anymore.
But he's 37.
He's part of the institution, though. He's going to become like Oliver Kahn.
Yeah.
He's going to be an Oliver Kahn. He'll go up.
Yes.
Come down.
Those are the kind of players. All those Oliver Kahn, Schweinsteiger.
Yeah.
Those are the people those are the next year. Thomas Muller.
Next year.
Yeah. Hey, Thomas Muller might as well be assistant coach.
He has started already.
Basically, he is.
Yep.
Wow.
And once you bench Muller, you're on the way out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You're out.
FC Hollywood.
Okay, so that you're saying it will be a 2-2 draw, but Bayern Munich goes through, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man City go through.
Ola, what you think?
Yeah, Man City go through. I think Man City will win there, not just go through. I think Man City will beat them, and Man City will go through.
Okay, EJ.
I think it'll be 3-2. Be close, but it'll be 6-2 on aggregate. Man City goes.
Okay, I think Bayern wins, but maybe they'll win like 2-1 or 1-0, but Man City will still go through. The last one, Inter Milan Benfica. Inter leads in aggregate 2-0. First leg was in Benfica. Dio.
Inter wins 2-1, qualify 4-1 on aggregate.
Okay.
I agree with those numbers.
Okay, Ala.
I think it'll be a draw, but Inter will go through. I think maybe 1-1 draw. Or something.
I say draw too. I say draw as well. So everybody is picking like Well, except for the AC Milan Napoli tie, I think everybody is on the same page. Maybe one person must have picked AC Milan to go through.
I
Um,
think it's Milan.
all right. Kudos and donkey of the week time. Look, where do we want to start? Dio, just go ahead and give it to Thomas Tuchel. Let's hear it.
Also, the money.
No, Sadio
Sadio
Mane.
Mane.
Sadio Mane did it for like, man, he fell his own hand. But Sadio Mane gets the donkey of the week.
Okay.
Kudos, who did well this week. Oh no, there's a bigger donkey,
Oh.
Borussia Dortmund.
What happened to them?
3-3. Last minute.
Okay.
They threw it away.
Borussia Dortmund was leading by Bayern is ahead of the Borussia Dortmund by 2 points. Bayern drew 1-1 yesterday. So Dortmund, if they had won, they would have gone ahead.
Mhm.
Dortmund was leading 2-0. They got their opponent. The opponent went down one man in the 28th minute. So they played 70 minutes against 10 men, and they leveled 2-2. In the 93rd minute, Dortmund scored the winner in quote to win 3-2, and in the 97th minute, they allowed Stuttgart to equalize again.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
10 men
Really
Stuttgart. 70
family
minutes.
Men.
Yeah,
Oh,
village
you
people.
don't want it.
Yeah, village people are working overtime.
Yeah.
Village people are working overtime. Wow. Okay. Ola, who's your? Just give us your kudos and your donkey.
Kudos. Well, kudos. Thierry Henry. Well, I have two kudos, but Thierry Henry. I like this passionate defense of my boy Lukaku.
Yeah.
I still don't understand how he got sent off for protesting against. He wasn't even protesting, but just celebrating a goal, and he had suffered racist chanting. But I liked how passionate Thierry Henry was on CBS, and like basically calling out the Italian FA and all of that. We need more people like that to continue. We can't let things like that slide. I think maybe change will eventually come, but we need respected professionals, ex-professionals like Henry to continue putting out that message that this is unacceptable. You can't do that. So kudos for that. And Gary O'Neill, Bournemouth coach.
Yes.
He got this job basically because Scott Parker down tools. Scott Parker was like, this team is so crap, they're not going to do anything. He was the manager and he was saying that in interviews. He was verbatim was saying this team is not good enough to stay up. And they fired him and they gave it to this guy as a caretaker. But he has done so well that now he's permanent manager. And their win at Spurs yesterday, it's similar to what Stuttgart did, but they didn't have a red card, but Spurs equalized on 90 minutes or something, and then this guy still bounced back and still scored the winning goal against Spurs. And I think that manager has been underrated because now they're 13th or 14th, Bournemouth. So kudos to him. People don't talk much about him, but yes, kudos to him, Gary O'Neill. Donkey of the week, Super Frankie Lampard. Fantastic job. Fantastic job. Fantastic job at Chelsea. Oga Kwame, were you going to give it to him too?
I was going. Yeah. Oh yeah, bro. It was. I had written it down. Yes.
Me too. I have it written here. Super Lampard. But let me tell you the reason. It's not just because they've lost, because obviously they wanted that new manager bounce. But at this rate, man, I think Todd Bowley will need to buy a bouncy castle if he needs any bouncing going around with that Chelsea team. They're so useless.
Man needs to get a trampoline.
Trampoline, because I don't know what bounce they're looking for. If you're looking for a bounce, you don't go hire Frank Lampard, who was woeful at Everton, who was basically getting Everton relegated. I don't know why you go and hire Frank Lampard after his previous record at Chelsea was not great either. So I'm giving it to Frank Lampard, but by extension, Todd Bowley is getting a bit of that donkey too, because I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know. So that's me for this week.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna jump on that as well. Like they bring him in while the club he almost got relegated. They're still cleaning up the mess that he made.
Yeah,
right. Everything is still cleaning up till today. Sean Dyche is still cleaning up the mess that Frank Lampard made. Right. So in the face of all of that, you open your eye to go and bring him back to Chelsea, bruh. These guys need to hold a massive L. Like, and at this point, I don't care how fast. The only thing that makes it not so sweet is that they're not in a relegation battle. They're not.
Yeah.
Like, if they were, bro, I will be trolling this man because I have no sympathy. I actually do not have any sympathy for them. No sympathy at all. They can go down. They can go down faster than Mia Khalifa. I don't care. They can go down faster than President Trump's mistresses. Bro, I don't care. They deserve everything that is happening to them, especially in light of what they do with some of the black managers like Patrick Vieira. So anyway, EJ, go ahead with your kudos and donkey.
My kudos is to the Bournemouth team. Actually, I think their comeback against Spurs, and I believe it was away from home for them.
Yeah.
It was just like I felt like they were very, very organized, and they just like took their chances and bided their time, and then got the win. I thought they would draw, and that would have still been a good result. But then they kept going. So they get my kudos. And then my donkey of the week, it has to go to Sadio Mane. I did see on Twitter that they did say the negative thing that they claimed that Sane said to him, but it just reminds me of Will Smith and what's his name, Chris Rock. You can't punch an adult man in the face unless you want the repercussions. No, and that's your teammate. It's rude. One, it's just unnecessary, and it just causes discord in the team. So, like you guys said, they resolved it, hopefully. But now he's suspended, right? They suspended him, so he can't play. So now you hurt the team. And anyway, I think they hurt themselves if they really need. But then you guys said he's not playing well. So it doesn't matter. Like, he's just a donkey because you're not playing well. You're punching people. Now you're not available for the squad. It's three strikes against you. Yeah, but yeah, that's my donkey.
$300,000 fine.
Yeah.
$300,000 fine. $300,000.
Wow.
Well, they fined him $300,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, now he's broke. He's not broke, but
Is that like a week's wages or?
Yeah, like a week wage.
Okay. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
My kudos. You guys have mentioned good kudos. So I'm not going to repeat those. My kudos has to go to Julio Enciso from Brighton. That's thunderbolt of a shot. That shot woke me up from sleep. I was watching that game, and I was kind of like half awake, half asleep. When that goal went in, my eyes opened like this. It was ridiculous. So, and the boy is only 19 years old, and he has a bright future ahead of him. Donkey, I already mentioned Frank Lampard, man. I already mentioned Frank Lampard. Also, I don't know if you guys caught this or if you guys agree with me. The VAR in the Spurs versus Bournemouth game for Tottenham's equalizer, Harry Kane was offside and it was impeding the view of the goalkeeper. That goal shouldn't have stood because the shot came in from Danjuma. Had a deflection. By the time the ball deflected, keeper went this way to see what angle the ball was coming from. Why? Because Harry Kane was blocking his view. Right. And before he knew what was happening, the thing was in the net. And VAR took a look at it and still said it was not offside because it was clearly interfering with the play. So they need to hold that. VAR needs to hold that. And there were a select group of fans as well in our Facebook group that were laughing at Licha Martinez's injury. That is not cool. So they can hold a donkey for that too. They know themselves. But we have gotten to the end of the podcast. Thank you for joining us in the comments. Thank you for being patient with us as well. I know we started a little bit late. But Dayo, it is always a pleasure having you. I think I remember the last time I was on a podcast with you. You were not happy with Nagelsmann. You said that he didn't finish his internship before he went and took on a big job. And you've been proven right. So big up to you. Big up to you. EJ, thank you for joining us. I hope that tree is still comfortable. Actually, no, I don't hope it's comfortable. What am I saying?
I was like, really? You hope?
But hey, I'm just telling you right now, if you guys don't win, we're in the same city. I'm going to come and throw past. Yeah, I know where you live.
What's funny is this, that it's funny because every time I see a troll about Arsenal, it's just all funny to me. If you see me in the group, I'm not crying, laughing. I'm literally laughing at all of them. I think I said Wonderful today. I'm like, what? Where you guys come up with this stuff? But yeah,
No, see,
it is what it is.
yeah, but you have to suffer on behalf of your Arsenal fans. That's the thing, because there's no other Arsenal fan I know that is like in close proximity to me. So you have to take it for them. And
But I'm just gonna shut
there
down
are
my
three
phone.
specific ones. There are three specific ones that I want to mention the names right here. Samuel Fagade, you are going to hear it when Arsenal bottles this thing. Prince AY, bro, I'm coming to Canada. You're going to hear it when Arsenal bottles this thing. The third one, that Odunayo guy. I don't know what it's like.
What about Joanu?
John is loud. John is loud.
Joanu has been quiet all through today.
So we're coming. We're coming. But until then, y'all do you. But Ola, thank you also for joining. I know it's later than it's later over there, but thanks for creating the time, bro.
No problem.
All right, and guys, once again, we're on YouTube at Footy Fantasy. We're on Twitter at Footy AD Fantasy, on Instagram at Fantasy Footy. If you do like the content, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and share the content. Also hit the notification bell. That way you're notified when we plan to go online and when new videos are posted. Until next weekend, we don't know who's gonna host next weekend, but either way, somebody's gonna be here, and we're gonna have a panel talking about football again. But have a good week, guys. Peace out.
Peace out.
All right.